everybody. You're listening to the Big Chill Podcast. This is episode 308, a space podcast. Hello, Big Chillians, and welcome back, as always, to the Big Chill Podcast. I'm Frank, joined as always with Sam and Eddie. So, guys, I got some bad news. Our petition to host Monday Night Football was not accepted, but the Manning brothers are going to be hosting an alternate Monday Night Football on ESPN2. What do you guys think about that? Are you going to watch the Mannings on ESPN2, or are you going to watch the normal broadcast of Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Louis Riddick, Lisa Salters, and John Perry?
Wait, is this all the three Manning brothers? Like
No,
Cooper,
it's
Eli?
just no Coops. Just,
then I'm
just
out.
Peyton and Eli.
Then I'm out. If Cooper had been involved, I was in. But I mean, Peyton's the big pull there, right?
They're doing a Monday Night Football megacast. So it's going to be 10 games a year for the next 3 seasons. And it'll feature current and former NFL players while the Mannings will broadcast from a remote location.
What a life, right? Just what a deal they've been able to negotiate there. They've basically tried to sell Peyton Manning on the idea that he's going to have to fly to wherever the Monday night game is, 16 times a season. And then he said, how about instead I do the show from wherever I want with my brother? And they've gone, yeah, let's write you a check.
Sold.
I mean, you do ask about Coop. Peyton Manning currently hosts a game show. I think it's on CBS, and Coop is on it.
I mean, Cooper Manning is legitimate. I actually think they're all pretty funny. Like, Eli is quiet, but when you see his, social media comments and stuff, he clearly has a pretty good sense of humor. It'll be interesting to see on this show whether he comes out a little bit more, because up until now he has been pretty quiet as his overall personality. But Peyton's funny. I might classify Peyton as athlete funny, but on the higher end of athlete funny, whereas Cooper Manning is legitimately funny.
I would say Peyton Manning is the top echelon of athlete funny.
He is, but he's still, people go overboard, right? Because you're mostly comparing him with a piece of cardboard in terms of personality and humor. And so then as soon as they say something remotely quick-witted, people go overboard with, oh my God, what a comedic genius.
It's strange because Eli Manning just took a job with the New York Giants as, I think, some sort of business operations fan engagement thing. So it's interesting that he's also able to do this on the side. Maybe they just can't do Giant games. I don't know.
What a life. Just what a life. Situation. Just get to write checks for whatever jobs you want, basically.
Yeah,
it's going to be great.
They're basically just incredible consultants that are just walking around with this 24-hour calendar and just going, find some time, sign me a contract and get me there. They've got a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, even Cooper Manning, just family win for him. I mean, I know he was a very good high school football player, and it's one of those things people like to say, potentially the most talented of the three of them. I always think that's the easy thing to say about the one whose injury prevented them from going pro. It's sort of the nice thing to say if you're Peyton Manning, Cooper was the best of us, because no one can really ever put that to the test. But still, what a just Manning name for the win on all things at the moment.
Yep. And you mentioned, Peyton being funny, and he's been in SNL. He's had some acting gigs. We can use that to transition to one of the NBA's more prominent athlete, comedian, actors in LeBron James with Space Jam coming out. Have you seen the reviews? I have not watched it yet. I will watch it this week, but the reviews are in.
The reviews aren't good. They aren't good.
The reviews aren't good. No.
But I did also see a tweet I think it's gone fairly viral, just reminding people when people are insulting it for being corny and stupid that it is a movie intended for children, not for 35-year-olds. And I do think it's a little bit like when we were doing the week by week short-lived week by week that we did on the Mighty Ducks TV show, there is that moment where, yes, they're playing on the nostalgia, and yes, they like the idea that people who had it in there as part of their childhood are going to watch this again. But it is, the target audience is fundamentally 8-year-old kids, not 35-year-olds.
You're right, but the difference is the originals were still targeted for kids, but as an adult, I mean, I recently watched both Space Jam and the original Mighty Ducks and still enjoyed them. The new Mighty Ducks TV show was not enjoyable.
You watched every episode, though.
It's true. I stopped. No, you don't.
You didn't.
That's the
You
key
did.
part.
I mean, we nearly just submarine this podcast by committing to that bit. But,
torpedoed ourselves.
I think you're right. Although it's impossible for me. Look, I watched the Space Jam in the movie theater with my dad. I can remember doing that. I remember him, I guess, enjoying it. It's not like we walked out and he was, yelling and screaming.
Cartwheeling out of there. Oh my God. Oh my God.
But he didn't blow his brains out mid-movie. So I guess, how it's impossible for me to now rewatch Space Jam and have an honest assessment of would I have liked this if I had been 35 in 1995. I can't put myself. And I also think, I guess the other challenge for this Space Jam is Michael Jordan was such a big thing. LeBron James is huge, but Michael Jordan was huge on a different scale that I think almost everyone then became interested in seeing Space Jam because you just wanted to see the Michael Jordan movie. Whereas I couldn't convince, if I were 8 years old right now and my parents were, the age they were when Space Jam came out, I don't think I could convince them, we got to go see that new LeBron James movie. Because I think it was like, who cares?
But it's also the fact that when it comes out in like the 90s or whatever it was, like going to the movies was like an event and an occasion and it mattered. Whereas I think now, I don't think it has like as much of a pull, where I remember feeling like going to Space Jam, like it was a great event and it was a great thing, and seeing Jordan on the big screen was like, oh my God, wow, this is amazing. So you almost like built it up more. Whereas this one, I just think there's too much content for me to like care that much.
So I've got some reviews. I'll read the like punchline of some of the reviews. So this one of the more positive reviews. Space Jam: A New Legacy contains a better and more urgent story than the first one, but the film's focus on established Warner Brothers IP makes it feel more like a commercial for better movies than anything else. That was one of the more positive ones I could find. The next one, in the pantheon of misguided sequels and reboots, A New Legacy is right up there with Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2, and Little Fockers.
That's a real compliment. That's a real compliment for Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2. Because it's been just thrown into a pantheon of original movies it does not deserve to be in.
Here's the thing about basketball. It's extremely watchable. Here's the thing about Space Jam: A New Legacy. It's not.
It's pretty good.
You'll be amazed by how little the basketball game resembles an actual sport and how hard it is to sit through.
I mean, you could level that same critique at the original Space Jam.
So their criticism of it is not realistic enough. Is that what they're getting at there?
I did like, and I don't want to turn all Barstooly on this, I did like the fact that people were making fun of LeBron James because he was sitting courtside at Game 5 of the NBA Finals, and his name and his description came up, and it was LeBron James, star of Space Jam 2, not LeBron James, multi-time NBA champion, MVP, and all.
Here, this could be the best one. Will end up being as fondly remembered as Shaquille O'Neal's Kazam and Meta World Peace doing the cha-cha on Dancing with the Stars.
Speaking of which, trying to get Meta World Peace as a guest, so if he comes on, we can discuss that with him. We can ask if he's happy to have that comparison level.
But yes, it is currently a 36 on Rotten Tomatoes, but keep in mind the original was only a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's
Oh,
only
so it's
doing
kind of just
marginally
tracking.
worse. Yeah,
So are you got plans to see it, or do you not care and you'll just wait till it's on something?
it's on HBO Max now,
Yeah.
so I'll watch it probably this week because I have HBO Max, and then I can give you my one line tagline.
Not realistic enough.
I think you'll like it. Just knowing you, Frank, I think you'll kind of like it.
Knowing the Mighty Ducks as well, I think you'll like it.
I don't
too.
think you'll love it, but I don't think you'll dislike it I think you'll give it like a 60 as a score, which is really bad for you, but I think that's where you're going to land.
It'll have to be, I think, directly compared to the original. So I have to think what I would give the original and then what I would give this one.
I think I'd give the original around a 55, 60.
But it holds a place in your heart.
Yeah, I mean,
place in your heart.
8-year-old me would have given it an 85. But 8-year-old me also wasn't watching The Shawshank Redemption. So, it's difficult. I wasn't comparing it to masterpieces of cinema at that stage. So it was, which one did I like more, Space Jam or Jumanji? But I think probably Jumanji. Yeah, but still.
Next question, 8-year-old Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay, which other movies did I watch around that period?
Jurassic Park?
Yeah, Jurassic Park would have been around then.
Jurassic
Park.
For
Jurassic
sure.
Park.
Okay, Jurassic Park. Okay, so Space Jam's going downwards here.
All
What
right,
else
let's
can we give him?
Space Jam or Aladdin?
Aladdin.
Space
Or is this
Jam.
just 8-year-old Eddie?
Aladdin, I would still probably say.
I would
Space Jam or The Lion King? Yeah.
Still
Lion
not
King.
Space Jam.
Can I pick?
Okay, can you pick a film that you would say Space Jam beats?
From a film I liked, right? Because I could pick films but like seminal movies from my childhood. Could I pick one where Space Jam wins? I think not. That's actually an interesting way of reviewing it. Probably not.
So it even wasn't that good when you were 8.
I mean, I loved Michael Jordan. I know that doesn't make me unique, but I loved Michael Jordan. I mean, I was in the full Be Like Mike camp. I loved going to Bulls games. I had so much Chicago Bulls gear. I loved wearing Air Jordans. When his Oakley sunglasses came out, I bought those, even though, when I say I bought them, I forced my parents to buy them. The first cologne I ever owned was the Michael Jordan cologne. This was when I was 10.
What is the Michael Jordan cologne?
He had his own fragrance. He was very ahead of the times, when he was just doing everything and anything.
So the Space Jam coming out, there was a lot of comparisons on like Bleacher Report and stuff of what would alternate sports versions of Space Jam be. So let me throw it to you two. If there was a football version of Space Jam, let's call it, I don't know, Space Touchdown.
Wow, how long did you take thinking about that one, Frank? Wow.
So I was going to say Space Hail Mary. I was going to say Space Hail Mary, but that would have gotten
That's at least more creative than just Space Touchdown.
What's the soccer one going to be? Space Goal? I mean,
Space Kick.
Okay. Space Ace for tennis, not bad.
Space Try Ace. Rugby.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the question. Was what is it going to be called? Who's going to star as the Michael Jordan, LeBron James for the NFL version, for the American football version?
Oh, Patrick Mahomes right now, easy.
Over Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a good way of putting it. Like, if you had Space Jam 1 and 2 and they were set like similar points, who would be the 90s Space Touchdown?
Mid-90s.
Tom Brady would be both.
Yeah, it's true. Tom Brady is Space Jam 1 through 7 in the NFL. No, I think it has to be Patrick, because you have to think of who's more popular with kids. And Mahomes is clearly, if you're a 7-year-old kid who's not a Patriots or a Bucks fan, and you're like, I love Tom Brady. I love the way he's so efficient in the pocket. If
I love
you're,
how he makes out with kids.
yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, it's true. Which quarterback is most likely to kiss me? Tom Brady. I want him in Space Jam.
This
So
is an odd questionnaire. This is an odd survey I just got.
one of the answers that was pretty funny was Tom Brady fights cartoon versions of his teammates to save his sons who are being kept hostage by Bill Belichick. I can see Bill Belichick being the villain very easily.
Yeah. I mean, the other reason why it can't be Tom Brady is I think an aspect of Space Jam is the superhero style athletic ability. Like that's part of the Jordan part of, I'm sure it will be a little bit a part of the LeBron bit is there sort of, and Tom Brady is a normal guy who's just really good at throwing a football and reads the game really well. But if you want him going,
if there's like a cartoon style of play, right? It's almost like Mahomes.
Mahomes. I think Cam Newton would have been a really good one back when Cam Newton was really in his prime. And then pulling the Superman celebration would have been perfect for a Space Jam movie. So,
yeah. Yep. So you are right. One of the main ones was Patrick Mahomes needs to fight off the evil Lord Brady and his goon squad.
Why did they have to make one of the other people a real person evil? Because that's not a premise in Space Jam.
All right, how about this one, Eddie? You might enjoy this one. It's also another making a person evil. Andy Reid threatens to eat all the cheeseburgers of the world unless Tom Brady beats him with Bugs Bunny and his gang.
I think that was the premise of this
Would you
Super
watch
Bowl.
that movie?
No.
I like that it's still the Goon Squad. Like they cross sports. Like, what should we do this year?
I mean, in a way, the premise again is kind of more suited to football. Like the idea that these are these really physically imposing, dominant people, and then you've got an offensive line that's, Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. That's kind of funnier than the basketball part of it, where it's like, okay, well, you can kind of overcome your physical limitations a bit more easily than you could in football.
If you had to do it for soccer, I mean, it's Ronaldo, right?
It's Ronaldo, yeah.
Or Jordan Pickford.
Yeah.
Is Ronaldo too sexy to star in it?
A question that's never been asked before.
A question that Frank has thought about a lot.
He asked that about everything.
Too much raw sex appeal to be in a kid's movie.
I think he'd be okay. I mean, Messi could be in it, but then the movie would eventually just be done for tax avoidance. So
it'll be a write-off.
Yeah, that would be the end of that movie.
Hey, Neymar is pretty good at acting on the pitch.
True. No, I think it would have to be Ronaldo. And again, a little bit in the Ronaldo versus Messi debate, again, just because you'd have the Ronaldo jumping and stuff, he becomes a little bit more of a superhero figure than just Messi's incredible ball control.
Any other sports?
Well, you need team sports, right? Cricket, yeah.
Space wicket.
Space wicket.
Space wicket. I think
Space six.
Space is so boring. So dull.
Space 6. Space boundary.
Yeah.
Boundary
Space
of space.
Yeah.
Boundary of space.
Cricket would be, I don't know. I mean, cricket based on numbers, you'd have to be like Virat Kohli, because you'd target it would be a Bollywood movie, and Virat Kohli there would be dancing in the middle of it all the time, and every time a boundary is hit, they break out into an elaborate dance routine. but yeah, I think it would have to be Virat Kohli.
Speaking just real quick of cricket, did you see Livingstone hit it out of the stadium the other day?
I did, yeah. Biggest six I've ever seen.
That was insane.
Yeah. And consensus opinion within the Sky commentary was the biggest six any of them had ever seen. The thing, too, that makes it impressive is it looked effortless. So it was just pure timing and good technique. And I know...
Pure middling.
Yeah, you see, I mean, obviously they hit a ball very, very far. It's not just a big heave of the bat ever, but just the fact that it didn't look like he really put much into it for the ball to go
Yeah.
as far and as high as it did. It's the height too. The distance is one thing, but to clear a whole stand, which is not a it's not a small stand. Sometimes people say, "Oh, he hit it out of the ground," and it's the ground is a stand with 15 rows, and they'll still lose their minds over it. This is a 3-tiered stand with also a massive roof on top of it. It was super impressive.
Did they actually register a meterage to it? I didn't see one.
No, see, this is the thing that frustrated me. They waste all their time consistently using those ball tracker stats to tell you how far something went or whatever. And then I was watching it with my dad, and I said, "This is the one time I've ever really wanted to see ball tracker stats as to how far this ball has gone." And nope, nothing. They just kept going. That was really far. So I saw that too.
Yeah, he crushed it. It was good timing too, because in baseball they had just done the home run derby at Coors Field, which is always fun to watch at Coors Field because the balls just go insanely far, and they were hitting moon shots. That was crazy to watch.
Yeah, no, that was a good home run derby. Yeah. Oh, good weekend of sport overall. Obviously, had Morikawa winning the Open, first time at trying, which is pretty impressive. Joins a pretty elite club in terms of winning. As I mean, it's only he and Tiger Woods, right, who've won 2 majors at the age that he is. So, which I
Was
always
it
feel
before
bad.
the 25th birthday, isn't
Yeah,
it? I think it's, yeah.
which seems surprising to me. I feel like there would have been more players who'd won 2 before 25, but I always feel bad at the same time because you're going to just get the immediate Tiger Woods comparisons until they're no longer, like everyone. Rory McIlroy had it for a while, Spieth had it for a while, and then you're going to have a couple down seasons that Tiger Woods never really had until injuries and other issues kind of came into his game, and then they'll just forget you.
Yeah, I mean the thing that we watched the end of it, but unfortunately it ended at 11 our time, which is pretty crazy. But it's crazy to think Morikawa is only 3 years younger than Spieth.
Yes, which they
That's
kept
insane.
referring
That's
to
insane to me.
during the British coverage. Nick Faldo kept speaking about this because a big part of Jordan Spieth's return to form has been he said that he wanted to start playing like a youngster again, which Nick Faldo was like, "You're still really young." So this idea that he was like he kept joking about the fact that I think Spieth had said he'd wanted to get his swing back to being a teenager and being young again, and Faldo kept remarking, "Just wait until you try to swing like a teenager when you're 55." But, but yeah, I mean, I think I like Morikawa a lot. Um, I also think it's nice when Morikawa wins because he has a very approachable golf game from the standpoint that you kind of feel like you could do it. Like, if you see what I mean. Like when I watch Dustin Johnson hit a drive as far as he does consistently, there's no part of me that really thinks I could go on a golf course and do what he does. Whereas the key to Morikawa's game is, I mean, he drives the ball still a long way by normal people's standards, but fundamentally it's his iron play and just accuracy and good course management. And so as an amateur golfer, you kind of watch it and think, I could maybe do that. Like he just hit the best version of my shot. He did it for 18 holes, but he hit the best version of my shot. And so I think that's kind of nice for golf to have, which is the same with Spieth, but to have people winning who aren't sort of doing things that a normal person just couldn't even contemplate.
Well, it's the Bryson thing as well, isn't it? It's like he comes across a bit more of a. Well, I guess it's interesting to see whether Morikawa will actually be like a superstar in terms of the way Woods was, both charismatically, like with the media. A lot of people seem to put it there, but the one thing I really liked about Morikawa in this one was his putting was so good in the final round. It's always been something he's carried. It's like really good iron play, really good play off the tee, but is the putting there? Lo and behold, he produced like a really, really good display on the green. So it's starting to come across as this complete player. He's coming across a bit of a superstar. Like, do you think false dawn? Well, we don't know, right? But you've seen all these false dawns with people when they're young and they get overhyped. He doesn't look like someone that will kind of board that and get too involved, but I think you've got a great player to watch for sure.
Yeah, I think the full storm thing is almost harsh. I just think what Tiger Woods did was so incredible. And I think we just don't appreciate the fact that dominant. I think I saw the other day his win percentage is 22% on tournaments has entered as a professional. It's just unfathomable. And I think part of it is we keep expecting, well, when's the next guy going to come along and win 10 of the next 16 majors or whatever? And the reality is that we'll just probably, it won't happen for 50 years. And Rory McIlroy is a great golfer who had a period where he was untouchable, and Spieth is a great golfer at a period when he was untouchable, and whoever else, you can run through a list of names over the last 15 years of people who've had these great periods. And I think it won't happen for a while, but we just need the memory of Tiger Woods to fade slightly so that we stop comparing them to that level of unattainable greatness and more to just appreciating them. It's going to happen in tennis too, right? We've discussed it a little bit, but the next generation of tennis players are not going to win 20 majors. And so someone's going to win, 8, and it's going to be, well, it's not Roger Federer though, right? It's going to take until that memory fades a tiny bit until we then start to appreciate someone for winning just 8 majors and not dominating a sport for 15 years. And it's going to happen in football with Tom Brady. Same idea.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you need Tiger Woods to drive off into the distance as opposed to drive off into a ditch.
Yeah, I think he's tried to do that, but he hasn't quite pulled it off yet. Only thing he's failed at. But
Keep shanking it.
Yeah. But no, but no, it was good. And I think you're right. He hit some clutch putts. Especially I think it was on the 16th, which was when Spieth got back to within 1, and he had a par putt, and you just had that feeling of if he makes it, it's over, which it was. But if it missed and suddenly it stays at a 1-shot difference, then suddenly it gets interesting because now you got 2-3 holes to play, and all it takes is a birdie from one person or a bogey from you, and yeah, no, he's and that was the only shame to it, was that it wasn't the most thrilling final day, because he kind of got a stranglehold on it pretty early and then just never let it slip. And the fact that Oosthuizen kind of fell away a bit and Spieth got involved, but he was starting from further back anyway. So that was the only thing that was a little bit disappointing, was it you kind of knew I was flicking more to other things because I thought there would be more drama elsewhere. You had the excitement of the British Grand Prix going on simultaneously. You had Mark Cavendish failing in his attempt to win his 35th stage of the Tour de France. So I was kind of, and the cricket, I was kind of keeping an eye more on other things, just knowing that it looked like Morikawa kind of had it in the bag.
Sam, I'm surprised you didn't bring up your jealousy of Bezos as we were talking about Space Jam.
Oh, what? That would have been a good transition. What? You mean the fact that Bezos is going to space tomorrow?
Yeah. Off air, Eddie, before you had joined, Sam was very jealous that he was not going to go up in a spaceship shaped like a penis up into space for 4 minutes and in zero gravity.
I love how you've taken like a 10-minute conversation and taken like 4 sentences and just moved them around to fit your penis part.
In fairness, Sam, he could have moved that around in a worse way.
So Sam, you are agreeing to what you had said.
No, not in that order. But yeah, he's going up in what appears to be like a giant looking penis ship, which is always interesting. But yeah,
you got to admire the balls, not to have that be a pun, but because if it explodes and if his sort of farewell to his life is exploding in a penis-shaped spaceship, it's
for everyone to see.
It's quite the way to sign off. But obviously don't want him to die. But in all seriousness, Sam, do you want to go to space? Would you, if given the option, if he called you up and said, "Do you want to get on the flight tomorrow?" Do you go?
Yeah, I'd love to. But what I got what I found a bit curious about this was that they're up there for like 4 minutes. They're over the carton line. I can't remember what it's called, but they're over the line for like 4 minutes. I don't know why, but that just feels like not long enough. It feels like I'd be getting a bad deal. Like
Well, also,
I don't want like a weekend away at the ISS, but I just feel like 15 minutes maybe. I don't
well,
know.
also, I was speaking about this with some friends the other day, and Olivier, who you two know, who knows more about this stuff than I do, also then explained this is only space at the moment as we know it, but it may be realigned in the future so that in the future they may not have technically gone to space. If you see what I mean, they're reaching the threshold at the moment that is likely to change in the not too distant future, which would be really disappointing to go through all this fanfare and effort and then 5 years from now for people to say, no, actually, that was just a really high flight, but technically not space anymore. I have to admit, I've got zero interest in going into space.
Really? So that was going to be my question is, if you took the risk out of it and said 100% chance you're coming home, you're not going to explode in a penis ship, then do you do it? Because my answer
No.
would definitely be yes, for sure.
I'd go and like live on the International Space Station for a little bit. That could be interesting and get to experience that. But just to just go into space, see the curvature of the Earth. To me, that's one of those things where I'm sure it's an amazing. I'm not downplaying it. I get that it would be incredible, but part of me would just I can just watch this on TV. Just show me the images, and I know I won't appreciate it in the same way, but it doesn't fall. I'd rather go in a submarine than go into space.
What, to space? You want to go just fire off a submarine into space?
Yeah, just put me in a U-boat, strap some rockets to it, and fire me up there and see what happens.
I'd do that. But I just like how you said, like, I'll go to the ISS and live there for a bit, almost like it was some sort of job share with someone up there. Like you would, so they would come down and do your job for a few days. You'd be up there for a good long weekend.
I mean, I think the ISS lifestyle could potentially be perfect for me. That I will say. That might have been where I missed my calling of just becoming an
What is it that appeals to you?
Probably the general sense of nothing to do for a sustained period of time, apart from a few.
I think
key
their
tasks.
schedule is nonstop.
I don't think it is. Whenever you see them,
I
don't think it is.
they have
I think
every
they try and
15
make
minutes
it
scheduled.
Every 15 minutes. Give me a break. And also, if you stop doing stuff, what's going to happen? You're on a space station.
They don't bring you home. They don't bring you home.
I mean, that's the biggest opportunity to tell your boss to just leave you alone. Come and get me.
If you don't fulfill your job obligations, they fire someone out into space.
Yeah.
Like,
but no, I think. Look, and I know that they do stuff up there. I'm not implying that they just go up there and watch TV. I know that they are actively engaging in scientific research and all sorts of different things. But I think, that appeals to me. Same going in like the Arctic, like living in one of those Arctic stations and just being trapped there for a winter. I could be fully on board with that.
I think in one of the British Antarctic research stations, like someone got COVID, and I was like, "How? That's really special for you to get it off a penguin or something like that."
Yeah, but no, I think, and I guess, look, it would be a challenge, but I think 100% I could. That's really what I probably should have done. Oh well, next time.
Did you have a moment like an interview where like you turned up late or something, and now you regret?
Yeah, I had an interview, Sam, for the International Space Station, and I didn't quite make the cut.
Just doing admin on the ship.
Yeah. They needed an office manager on the ISS.
They needed some marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the ISS doesn't have the reputation we would have hoped for. It's a pretty big deal, but no one in space has heard of it.
There's bigger ships like the Sevastopol, that's got an alien running around it. Would you be fearful of that, Eddie?
Of an alien?
That would turn into like Alien, like the Xenomorph.
You mean if you put me in the movie Alien?
No. If you were on the International Space Station, would you at any point be like, I'm slightly fearful of something like this happening?
Probably. It would cross my mind. I don't think I'd be terrified, but I think you'd have those moments where you'd be alone and realize how alone you were. And then you might have, I want to get out of this room a little bit more quickly than I probably should, but I also want to look a little bit more composed just in case someone's watching me. I'm sure you'd have those moments. You'd hear something and kind of think, I don't want to be here right now, but and kind of do like a speed walk in the direction of where someone else was. Now, talking of people living in isolation, though, the first few Olympic athletes have been arriving. Obviously, not everything has gone totally smoothly because they've had some people breaking the Olympic bubble. They've had some positive COVID tests. But I don't know if you also saw the other big news was that there were rumors going around that the Japanese had intentionally built beds out of cardboard to stop the athletes from having sex.
Eddie, call them what they are. They're anti-sex beds.
Okay. But these rumors have been proven to be false, as in Irish
Oh, they're
gymnast.
fake.
Yeah, an Irish gymnast got on his bed and jumped up and down quite aggressively to try and prove that the beds were pretty stable, and nothing happened. Now, admittedly, he's a gymnast, so he's a pretty small guy.
I was gonna say I don't buy it because he's a gymnast. He only weighs 100 pounds to begin with.
But he's
half
jumping
a
up
person.
and
Yeah, but it's jumping.
up and
No,
down.
but it does. You could be 10 pounds and jumping up and down on cardboard, and you're going to have a result on it.
Put it this way, and I know that this person will be listening, but based on what I witnessed, it would have passed the Jake sex test.
Oh, God. So the other reason that people are calling it the anti-sex, well, first off, it is made of cardboard. It's fully made of cardboard, the bed, which is strange, but it's obviously, a promotion towards, I think it's 100% recyclable and everything like that, kind of bring awareness. But they've also banned alcohol sales completely in the village. And one of the more talking points of all the Olympics is like the condom sales. They have like 1 million condoms they put out at the Olympic Village or whatever it is. This year, they've only allocated 1/3 as many as they did at Rio. And the officials have made it clear that they are intended for athletes to use only once they were back in their home countries.
Well, like a souvenir condom.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's like your goodie bag, your going away goodie bag.
I wouldn't say no. I'd take some Olympic condoms with me. If nothing else, if you were single and then you went out to a bar, it would be a pretty good... If someone was doubting whether or not you were Olympian, you could at least pull out your Olympic condoms as proof.
Do you think they're coloured like gold, silver, bronze?
Probably.
Do you think they have like the Olympic rings?
Bronze.
You got to use multiple in a night to have the full Olympic experience. Another good way to convince someone. But yeah, no. I thought it was interesting seeing the teams arrive. Seeing the accommodation looks nice, though. I will have to say, the village looks pretty nice. The rooms. I was interested to take a look because obviously Tokyo, you expect everything to be small. The rooms themselves look fairly spacious. So
Lots of room for activities.
Are you looking forward to it? The Olympics? What is it? Kickoff. Opening ceremony on Friday, and then you start off with...
Girls love the opening ceremony. Oh my. If you're out there listening, make sure you get yourself to a bar for the opening ceremony. It's girls gone wild during the Olympic opening ceremonies. Maybe take yourself some Mardi Gras beads just in case. Toss those around.
I didn't say it's like girls gone wild. That is a false accusation.